Okay. All right, so welcome guys to this class today. So today we are going to continue with our object-oriented programming in Kotlin. So on Friday, we talked about classes, which we said classes are like the blueprints, are actually the blueprints of the actual objects that we are going to model in our applications. Yeah, so today we still want to continue with the concept of classes, whereby we are even going to look at some concept called inheritance. Yeah, and in this very class, we are again going to look at a concept called overriding. Then finally, if we still have time in this very class, we can look at something called abstraction. Then there are some very simple concepts like named properties. Yeah, those are things that I'm just going to mention, and with probably like an example, and we pass. They should not give you any trouble in any way. So guys, I'm not going to like say remove this project and start a new project afresh. I'm simply going just to continue. Like yesterday, we named our class as first class, and on Friday we named our class as first class and second class. So today I can just name another class, like say third class. So if you guys were very keen, on Friday we had such like a class, guys. We had this class right here. So Irene complained that why are we calling the minor at the end? So I had to switch them. So allow me just to return them as they were before I switch them. So let me just right click and cut these. Let me simply cut these. Then yeah, at least it just feels good for me for this class to be at the top here, guys. It's not like it's in any way special, but for me it just feels good for the class to be at the top here. Yeah, the class to be at the top here. And okay, Cheryl, what you can unmute your audio and say what is it? Cheryl, did you raise your hand? Okay, let's just continue. Cheryl, if you have a question, just post it in the chat section. Yeah, just right here on the chat section. Yeah, push it right there. We are going to help you understand exactly what is that which is exactly disturbing you. All right, so yeah, guys. So let me just ensure that my class is at the top here. I really, it's not like anyway special, but anyway, let it just start at the top here. Then let my minor be the second one right here. So on Friday, you saw us creating this class. Then this class called people. Then yeah, we had two properties like say name, string, then age, int, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. But in this class, guys, we really don't want even to like have the properties named here like this. There is a way we can have these variables. There is a way we can have these two variables right away created on a class. So let me just create another new file. Let me just create another new file, and probably illustrate what I'm saying. So right click, just say new Kotlin file. I can even just call this a third class. Yeah, third class, and then hit on an enter. Perfect. Third class, perfect. All right, so guys, once we have this third class, so let's just create maybe another class. Maybe we can call it maybe class person. You can have class person. Yeah. So let me just check out someone is not in mute here. Cheryl, what is it? Anyway, so yeah. What is it, Cheryl? Cheryl, you good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, so let me just mute you. I have that authority here today, so I can. Yeah, I've seen Cheryl. Let me just mute you. I have that authority. So yeah, we good. we good. Okay, so right away, guys. So let me just create a class. Let me just create a class called maybe Mtu. Class called Mtu. Class called Mtu. Or let me just call class maybe admin. Admin. Let me call class called admin. Then this class called admin, instead of just having a parameter like say name, which is a string, which is supposed to be a string per se, like that, I can literally like say declare a variable here. Say var name, which is going to be a string. I can simply do that, guys. I can simply do that. Var king, var name, which is going to be string. Then I can also have var. I can also have var. So the admin can have the name and the age. Yeah, so age, var age, which is going to be maybe say int. 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 Yeah, so class admin. So yeah, class admin, var name, and var. That's quite okay, guys. So in this case, I'm not going to start and then I'm not going to start doing what we did yesterday. Let me just allow me just switch on this one on this second class so that you guys can see. So when I hit here, so in this case, we are not going to have the parameters like this. We are not going to have the parameters. We are not going to have the parameters like this. We are not going to have the parameters like these guys. We are not going to have the parameters like this. Neither are we going to have this init. In fact, today's class is going to be so straightforward because we are going to eliminate this code and this code right here. Yeah, we are actually eliminating that. And the version of how we are doing our code today is the one that I really encourage that people should be using. Yeah. So today we are even eliminating such like a kind of a code. So on this third class, guys, so once I have this var name, which is a string, and var age, which is an integer, that's quite okay now. That's quite okay now. So I don't need the init, I don't need the parameters again because I already have them here. I already have my var and my var right there, which are the parameters, which are the parameters. So right away, guys, once I've done that, so this is a class that requires also a method. So maybe we can have fun. So an admin can maybe fun, maybe uh, register, maybe users. Yeah, maybe this is the one of the functionalities of the admin, register users. Then maybe an admin, maybe another function. Maybe we can have a function, say maybe view users. Maybe that is one of the functionality that the admin can do. And the admin has got the name and the age. Yeah. So at least we just have this. So these register users, let's just print something like say print and say uh, print line. I'm waiting for the auto suggestion, guys. Yeah, right here. So print line, I can simply say, because I'm printing line, I can simply say uh, yes, I can register users. Probably such like a thing, maybe just like a function to say here. But instead of just printing this like these guys, trust me, you can implement an entire user registration. You can implement that. You can implement that. Then maybe this one we can also just print line, and say maybe just say yes, I can view users info. Yes, I can view users info. Yeah, yes, I can view users info. Then right away on the minor, let's try to have an object out of this out of this blueprint. or let's have an object that is using our admin as the blueprint. So right away, minor. So I can have maybe var 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 maybe p1, which is person1 equals to this is an object that is in admin class. This is an object that is in admin class. Then right away, remember, we have to create this using the var name and var age, so that right away I can just say maybe king, maybe the name is king, then the age is probably 100 per se. The age is 100, so that I can just print and say print and say print line. Let me use print line and say I can print line and say I can say hello, then variable person1 dot name. I can say hello person1 dot name, which means it's going to be person1 dot as in king, maybe. Yeah, so it's going to be something like hello king. Or I can also print and just say print. I can also just print and say yeah, print line and say person1 dot register users. So when I simply say person1 dot register users, that's quite straightforward. That's quite straightforward because it's just going to say yes, I can register users. Yes, I can register users. So let me just run this and see if it's going to work as intended. So let me just run this and see if it works as desired, guys. All right, yeah. So as you can see, the first one is hello, king. Yeah, hello, king. Then the second one is maybe p1 dot just register users. So register users is yes, I can register users. This is exactly what has been printed right down here, So exactly. So guys, classes can be so straightforward. As you can see, this is a class, and this class is right now a blueprint uh, of the object called P1. Yeah, so that class right now is the blueprint of an object called P1 or person1 per se. Yeah, so we are just printing P1 dot hello name or such like a thing, such like a thing, such like a thing. So guys, that is going to be so straightforward like that. So today in this class, I want us to implement a concept called inheritance. So inheritance, uh, guys, we can have a class. A class like say this, maybe third class, which has got a class called admin. So we can have another class called maybe super admin. Then, or let's just say maybe we have a class called maybe secretary. So the secretary we can also say maybe the secretary can be able to register users, and the secretary can also be able to view users. Yeah, so the secretary can be able to register users, and the secretary can also be able to view users. So in that case, should we again start creating another class called maybe class called secretary. Then start by saying now maybe this class secretary, then class secretary again. We start by saying now class secretary var name, which is going to be string, we are not going to do it like this, guys. No, 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 no. We are not going to do it like this. Instead, we are going to implement a concept called inheritance, whereby this secretary class can just inherit whatever that is in admin, whatever is in admin, because the secretary can also do whatever the admin is right now doing. Yeah. So, guys, let me just delete this. This is not what we are going to do. This is not what we are going to do. So let me just remove it right there. Then to handle this concept of inheritance, guys, allow me create a totally new file that we are going to use. So I can even create a new file here. Let me just right click, then say new Kotlin file, which we are calling as inheritance. Yeah, inheritance. So I'm just calling it inheritance. It does not mean that now the file must be called inheritance. No, no. You can call it any name, guys, just like the same way we've been calling these as first class. Yeah, the way we've just been calling this one as first class, this one second class, then this one here as third class. So this one, I'm also just giving it a name, a normal name. So inheritance is quite okay. Let me just hit enter on my keyboard, like that. Perfect, yeah. All right. So another thing that now I really need to do is, after I've done that, after I've literally done that, so let me just create a class called maybe super admin. Maybe say super admin in this case. So let's have, not like super admin, let's have class administrator, then class secretary, so that whatever the admin is doing, some of those the secretary is also doing. So let me just call this as maybe administrator, administrator. You know, I can no longer call this as admin, because we already have an admin class that we have already created. So if I try to start calling this one as admin, just wait and see what happens. If I just try to call this as admin again, you see it's giving me an issue. It's actually throwing an exception. So I need to use a different name. So administrator. So so this administrator, so we can also have maybe var. So the administrator is going to have a name which is in string kind of a format. Yeah. Then also the administrator can have var age, as we are used to using these parameters here. So which is going to be an int, yeah, which is going to be an int like this. So that is an administrator. So that is an administrator class. Then inside the administrator class, let's just have maybe let's just say maybe function, maybe, yeah, let's just use reg users, or register users is fine, just like that, guys. So some of you are thinking, because we've already created a function called register users the other side, we cannot create it right here. No, we can. The only thing that we cannot is this class. So we cannot again come here and call this class as admin. But for the functions, these ones are just local right here, so we can do that. Then we can even just print and say print line, and let's just say let's just print line and say let's print line and say maybe say yeah, I can register all the users. We can even just say such like a thing. I can register all the users, like that, guys. Then let me also have a function again, like a function called maybe maybe function, maybe secretary, as we just said. Secretary. Say secretary. Yeah, function secretary, like this, function secretary. Then we simply say print, Not like function secretary. It was function view users. View users. Secretary is going to be a class, guys, because we want whatever the secretary is going to do, also the admin is doing. So no wonder we can now talk of inheritance. Then we are going to have a secretary inherit duties from the admin, So right away, guys. So view users. Let me just print line, then just say, yeah, yeah, I can, I can view all the users. I can view all the users. So let's also create another class. As you can see, this class called administrator, it starts here. It starts right here. And as you can see, it is ending right there. So outside here, guys, outside there is where we create another class called secretary. Secretary, secretary. Yeah, class called secretary like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now here is where the inheritance concept comes in. Why? Because we are not going to like hard code everything that we have hard coded up here. Now, whenever you hear inheritance in Kotlin, just know that the parent class, when I say the parent class, I mean the class from which other classes are inheriting from, that class. That class needs to be, that class needs to be an open class. So to make it an open class, you simply start by creating it using a keyword called open like that. Yeah, you just use a keyword called open. And because we are also going to inherit plus the properties, like the parameters right here, or the properties, the name and the age, you also make them open. Like I'm going to make this one also open, then I'm also going to make this one here as open like that, guys, as open like that. I'm also going to make it open like that. Then yeah, once we have done that, once we have done the opening like this, so clearly now this class can inherit from this one here. So how does the inheritance work? So this is how the inheritance is going to work. So we are going to have, let me just make sure that I'm hitting the backspace. So our secretary class, so definitely is going to be a class like that. Then this secretary class is only going to override, is going to override the var name, which is going to be a string. It's also going to override the open var age. Is going to be an int. Is going to be an int. Yeah, which is going to be an int like that, guys. Then because of this overriding, so we need to say the parent class. Where are we overriding these things from? So we get outside there, put a full colon, then we say we are overriding this from the administrator class like that. Then in the administrator class, we need to also ensure that we are taking the name. I want the auto completion, guys. I don't know why it's not showing up. Yes, exactly. We want the name and the age. We want the name and the age like that. So that right away, I can simply now do that. Once we have done that, guys, once we have just said, now the secretary class is overriding stuff, or it is inheriting properties from the administrator class. So what are we inheriting from the administrator class? We are inheriting the property name as a string and the property age together with its functions. So that, guys, right now I don't need to create another function called register users right here. No, I don't. It is already available here. No wonder if I just come down there on the minor function. No wonder if I just do a minor function right there. If I just do a minor function right here, then I say, let me have var 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 maybe Karani, Karani ndo secretary. Karani equals to, maybe this is an object of a secretary class. Yeah. So that when I just put there, so you see it is already expecting the name. It is already expecting the name. So the name, maybe this could maybe Rachel. Then, yeah, Rachel, this thing is also requiring your age. So maybe your age is 200, Rachel, for that, for example. So that if I simply now come down there and say print line, and say print Karani, let me just say print Karani, Karani dot you see, automatically I can access register users function. I can automatically access view users function. Why is that so? Because we are actually inheriting them right here, guys. We are inheriting them right here. So when I simply say Karani, you will see I can access register users. So that if I run, just a minute, let me admit people here. Let me admit Shakil. Shakil, what's happening with your internet? Yeah, I've already done that. Yeah, so yeah, print Karani.register users. So clearly, this register users function, ladies and gentlemen, we did not create it on the secretary class. As you can see, this Karani is an object of secretary class. So this is the secretary class. But you see, on the secretary class, we don't have a function like, say, register users, and yet it is available. Why? Because we have done inheritance. And so in that case, we can even do another. Someone should not tell you that now the secretary class cannot do an extra kind of a job. No, I can even come on down the secretary class and declare a function for maybe sending, maybe function sending letters, maybe function sending letters. Yeah, maybe then, yeah. Let's say maybe now print line, just on this one, let's just say print line, and say, yeah, I can send letters. Yeah, I can send letters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can send letters. I can send letters like that. So that right down here, if I wanted to print, I can again still find that method on the secretary class. So print line, I can even say print line and say maybe Karan. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, I can print line and then say Karani dot send. You see, sending letters is available from Karani. Sending letters is still available from Karani. So on the secretary class, we can as well have properties from administrator class. Why? Because we are inheriting them right there, guys. We are inheriting those properties from the administrator. So right now, if I run these, as I run these, you're going to see. So let me just run. Let's give it some time and see how it's going to appear. Let's give it some time and just see exactly how it's going to appear. All right. Yeah, so as you can see, guys, yeah, I can register all users. Who is saying this? This is the admin. No, this is the, as we are printing Karani.register users, and Karani is a secretary. As you can see, guys, Karani is a secretary, is saying, yeah, I can register all users. So clearly, guys, we have found we have seen that we have inherited using the, as we have on the secretary class, we are inheriting properties from the admin. No wonder the administrator is the one that has got these and these and these and these and these. Now, there's one more thing that I would like to mention to you guys. Yeah, there's one more thing that I would like to mention to you guys that yeah. So there's one more thing that I would like to mention to you guys, that some people are going to be printing such like a thing, like say you say var Karani equals to secretary. Then you see Rachel, comma, age. And as you can see, some people are going to see name right here and wonder, Wanyama, how do you type that name? No, guys. That is supposed to be automated. In fact, if I just if I just uh, if I just remove it like this, if I just start typing the quotation marks like this, automatically you see the name just comes. The name just comes, and no wonder I can type there the name Rachel like that. Also for the 200, you see, uh, if I just remove it like that, you see, immediately I just type there 200. The age thing just comes like that automatically without anyone like say having to type the age right there. But some of you, maybe probably for you, that age kind of a thing or the name kind of a thing might not show there. Let it never stress you, guys. Let it never come to your nerves. No, it's just quite okay. But some people will wonder, Wanyama, can't we start with 200, then write the name Rachel right here, so that we have such like a thing. Just look at, so that we have such like a thing. Maybe we have, maybe say 200, then this one to be something like say Rachel. Can't we have such like, we cannot have such like a thing, guys. Why? Because let me just take you to the administrator class up here. Let me scroll up here. You see our administrator class, we are saying the first parameter is the name, comma. After the comma is when we have the second parameter, age. So you cannot start uh, coming down here and say now you're starting with age. No. You will be in sort of conflicting your order up there when you declared it. So you have to start with the name, then age. If you really must want to do this, then there's something called a named parameter, sort of a way to do it. So that I will simply come here, and instead of just typing there 200, I will say now age equals to 200. Then name, I'll come and say now name equals to Rachel. That will work. That will work, guys. So that I have to specify. I'll have to specify and say name equals to this and age equals to this. So that one will work if you have to specify the key parameters that are required. Yeah. So when you are using the named parameters like this, you don't even have to follow any order. You don't even have to follow any order. Once you are using such like a thing, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to follow any order. You can just put them in a shambled kind of a manner, and it's still going to work for as long as you specify the correct parameter names, like say age. But some of you now will make a mistake of like say maybe something like age. Yeah, this one will not work, guys. This will not work. Why? Because there is nothing like age with a capital letter on when we are declaring the class. it is a small edge. Sorry, it is a small a on the edge. So you have to also specify the small a right here. You have to specify it like that. You have to specify it just like that. No more, no less right there. So guys, when it comes to the concept of inheritance, for as long as you have a parent class, yeah, just do whatever we have done here and that's it. You will have inherited the properties. Like say, once you just do this, sorry for this, it is taking some time to, yeah. So once you have such like a thing, it's going to work. It's just going to work for as long as you declare this administrator class as open. It's going to work. And for as long as all the parameters that you want to inherit are open like this. For as long as they are open like this, for as long as they are open like this, it's going to work. And definitely you consider your own syntax, like the proper way of writing code. It's just going to work. It is going to work. And when we get to Android programming, you might not see anything different from these guys. This is exactly how we are going to be doing our things in Android. Yeah. All right. Having talked about that, talked about inheritance and overriding, as you can see, this is overriding. We override whatever that is already up there. That is overriding. We are overriding properties. We are overriding properties. We are continuing to look at this overriding. In fact, in my very next example, we are going to look at this overriding in details, whereby we are going to even override functions. Yeah, functions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, having talked about this in inheritance, allow me to also talk about some other concept in Kotlin called abstraction. Abstraction. Now, guys, abstraction is a way to implement such like a thing. Now, assuming, ladies and gentlemen, uh, we have these register users. These register users is maybe these register users is printing something like, say, maybe hello, maybe, or you want to say something like, say, which kind of example can I use that is going to make sense? So the kind of example that we can use, maybe you want, when we call this sending not when we use the secretary to print register users function, like right now, guys, you see we are saying var karani is an object from secretary class, and it is still printing out whatever we did in the administrator class. Why? Because we implemented inheritance. Guys, and overriding right here. Yeah, we implemented inheritance and overriding right there. What if you wanted to print such like a thing? You see, initially it was printing such like a thing. Let me see if it is still here. Yeah, initially it has just said, yeah, I can register users. But you as a developer, you want it to say like, yeah, I can register all the users from the secretary desk. Then if the register, the administrator is the one that is being used, you say, yes, I can register all the users from the administrator's desk. So you are doing the inheritance, but using like you want to specify exactly from which class was it executed. From which class was it executed? From the secretary's class, or was it executed from the administrator's class? So you want to have such kind of an abstraction, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just create one last file in this class. Yeah, probably this is what is going to make the end of our class today. So let me just right click, say new Kotlin file. Then this Kotlin file, we can even just call it as maybe abstraction like that. Let me just hit on an enter. Yeah, an enter. Perfect. Then let me just close this. Yeah. Then can I let me just create a class for head boy, head boy. So a head boy can, let's say maybe a head boy can write a suspension letter. Yeah. But now this time round we want to say suspension letter written by head boy, or suspension letter written by head girl, depending from which class it's going to be called from. Yeah. So right away we can have the abstract, we can have the we can have the parent class be the head boy like this, head boy like that. Then we can have var, var, var name, which is string, maybe the name of the head boy, and the age. So var age, which is maybe int, int, which is int like that, int like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if we are going to work with abstraction, then there is something called we need to make that class an abstract class. We need to make that class an abstract class. So, guys, let me just do something right here. Sorry for the pause, guys. So yeah, so we need to declare this class as an abstract class. So just like the same way in our previous example, we made this one to be an open class. So this one we need to make it as abstract, perfect. We need to make this main class to be an abstract class, Then also we need to make, because we are going to override plus these ones here, so we need to make them open like that. And then also this one we need to make it as open, because we are going to inherit. We are actually going to do inheritance, but try to abstract a few things. Now, some of you guys are really wondering, Wanyama, what is the difference between abstract and the way we call that as open like that? You see, whenever we use an abstract keyword, behind the scenes, the open keyword is implicitly already done. Yeah. So an abstract keyword is a little bit more of a superpower per se. That no wonder it is going to give us like more leeway to do more things other than just the way we did the inheritance, using the open keyword. So whenever we are using this abstract, it is a little bit so super, yeah. So that's exactly what we want. So that now, first of all, instead of now declaring function like fun, like maybe suspend student, student. Maybe the head boy can suspend a student. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we no longer, if we try to go and override these, like for example, if we are going to try to override these, it's going to give you an issue. Meanwhile, for you to see how it's going to happen, let's just do the normal, like let's just complete typing this code, then see exactly what is going to happen. So like print line, print line, Let me wait for the auto suggestion. Yeah, print line. Then I can say, yeah, I can suspend. Yeah. About let me say, yeah, I can suspend a student. Yeah, I can suspend I can suspend a student. Then again, let's have a next function, fun, maybe punish student, which we can also just say, hey, Shakir, what's happening with your machine? Which I can simply just say print line, print ln, and say, yeah, I can punish a student. So this is the head boy. This is the head boy. Let's say, yeah, I can punish a student. I can punish a student. I can punish a student. So we simply want to override. We simply want to override that function. We simply want to override these classes, or to do an abstraction on this function. So to do an abstraction on these functions, guys, we must also declare these functions as abstract. We must also declare these functions as abstract. Just give me a second to do this next thing. Yeah, just give me a second to do this next class, the next class for the head girl. So this is the head boy class. Let me do the class for the head girl, do the inheritance, then see how exactly it's going to work. So let's do a class for head girl. So this head girl is going to override is going to override var name, which is a string. Then it's also going to, why is it like this? Why is it like this? Yeah, I know the reason as to why it's going to do like this is because we haven't made these functions an abstract. So let it maintain like that. So var override var name, then override var age, which is also an int, then right away it is going to override them from the head boy class. Yeah, so I'm very sure once we do this, it's going to do away with the errors. So we are going to override the name, comma, and the age. Yeah, we're going to override the name and the age. I'm actually waiting for the auto suggestion. I don't know if it's going to show up. If it doesn't, let me just complete it like that. The name and the age. Yeah, the name and the age like that. So that now I can right away now open and close the curly brackets. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the normal of the inheritance. But you see, we don't want when we call this class, guys, just look up. Let me just do a simple minor. Let me just do a simple minor. Let me just do a simple minor here. So let me have var gal. Let me just say gal equals to, this is a head gal model. So a head girl is a head girl, an object from the head girl is an object from the head girl class. So the name is, maybe say the head girl is Irene. Then age of Irene, you have 150 years. Yeah. Then let's also have var boy. Maybe let's say this is a head boy. Then right away I can say the name is Chris, hatuja kuonea lakini Chris. Then maybe the age is 300 per se. You see what is happening with these? Yeah, you see immediately, you see the way this one here, you see the way this one in Azusha, the reason as to why in Azusha ni ati tumeideclare kama abstract. You can't make an object out of an abstract class, but tukitengeneza ikwe open hivi, you can guys, as you can see, voila, you can. But you see, we didn't want this, because this one, if I just print, something like say, if I just print something like say, if I just print something like say, something like say, if I just print something like gal dot suspend student, then again down here I print something like say boy dot suspend student. If I run these two, ladies and gentlemen, if I say girl dot suspend, you see, girl is an object in a head girl class. Boy is an object in the head boy class. But if I run these, let me just run this. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to run this. Let me just run this for you guys to see. Yeah, as you can see, it is just saying, yeah, I can suspend a student. Yeah, I can suspend a student. So we really wonder which one is which one, as in which of this statement is coming from the girl class, from the head girl class, or which one is coming from the head boy class. No wonder the concept of overriding, no, abstraction, the concept of abstraction. So no wonder we are no longer going to make an this one here, this parent class an open class. We are going to make it an abstract class, as I had told you guys, so that it is even impossible to make an object from it. It is impossible to make an object from this. It is impossible. It is impossible to make an object from that. It is impossible to make an object from that, like that. So it is even impossible. It is impossible. It is impossible. Yeah. Then right away, guys, right away, I'm going to make these functions here. I'm going to make these functions here as also abstract, so that it is impossible to make it like this. It is impossible to have a predefined structure of how it is supposed to run up there, so that it is just something like that. Yeah. Then also this one, I need to make it abstract. Yeah. Abstract. I can also make this as abstract. Then it is going to be impossible to have this, so I can't have it like that. Can't have it like that. Perfect. So that from the head girl function, from the head girl class, if we want if we want if we want to do anything, so we need to override. We need to override, like say, the punishment thing. Yeah. So if we want it, so we need to override. We need to override everything. We need to override. We need to override everything. Like say, I need to override the punishment function right there. I need to override it like that. Then I can now say, I can say, I can print. I can even print and say, I can even print and say, print line and say, print line and say, uh, yeah, I can punish students. Is it punishment? Yeah, punish students as a head girl. As a head girl, then you see it is already still giving me an issue right here. So I also need to override the suspending one, because you can't override one and leave the other. It is forcing us to override both of them. So when I just type there override, there's an auto suggestion for the student punishment, not student punishment alone. Kwani what is hii nyingine inaitwaje? Punishment, suspend student. Yes, suspend student. Then I can simply print line as I can say, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can suspend students as head girl, or as a head girl, as a head girl, as a head girl, as a head girl. Yeah, I can do that. So that if I just print it right now, if I just print this right now, if I print this right now, it is going to tell me, yeah, I can suspend a student as a head girl. Then if I wanted to do the head boy one, then I'll have to do a method. I'll have to do a totally different class again that is going to do everything for the head boy, Yeah, I can suspend students as a head girl. Yeah, it's working, guys. Then for the head boy, because it is impossible for us right now to create an object out of this class because it's an abstract class. So it's better we do another different class. So this head girl class starts from here and it ends down here. So let me do a head boy one. So class, maybe head head boy head boy 2, because I can't have another class like that. Yeah, I can't have, so this class 2, head boy 2, which is going to now play the roles of the head boy. So it's going to say override what? Override name, var name, override var name, which is going to be string, comma, then it's going to be again override var age, which is going to be an int, then from the head boy, from the head boy main class, then definitely the name, comma, age, age, yeah, the name, comma, age, yeah, sorry, the name, comma, age, then opening and closing curly brackets. Then you see automatically it's going to expect that I override these two functions. It is automatically going to expect me to override the two functions that are in the head boy main class. So let me override the two. So override, the first one is the maybe punishment, which is going to be print line. I can even just say punish, or I can say, yeah, I can punish students as a head boy. Print the line, then say, yeah, I can punish students as a head boy. Then the second one is I'm going to override this second one so that it is print line. It is going to be print line. Then say, yeah, I can suspend students as a head boy. Yeah, I can suspend students as a head boy. And suspend students as a head boy. So that right now, down here, guys, if I just come and do var boy and say this is a head boy 2, head boy 2, head boy 2 object. Then maybe the head boy is, as we had said, is Chris. Then the age, Chris, we had said you are 300 years. So if I just come down there and say now print line, print ln, guys. If I just say print ln, then I say print boy dot suspend, like say dot suspend student. This time round it's going to be let me just run it so that we can see it this time round, but it has to be, yeah, I can suspend students as a head boy, as a head boy, as a head boy. Only that sijaandika vizuri, as a head boy. Perfect. Perfect. As you can see, it is, yeah, I can suspend students as a head girl. Yeah, I can suspend students as a head boy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you. Some of you might not get how the abstraction is coming in. As you can see, the head girl, this girl is an object of the head girl class. Then when we check the head girl class, this head girl class, it is inheriting from head boy. If you are very keen, you have seen that. If you see, the girl object is an object from the head girl class, and this head girl class is inheriting properties from the head boy class, from the head boy, apogee, from the head boy. Then also the head boy too. You see, like the boy is the head, is an object from head boy 2 class, and head boy 2 is inheriting properties from the head boy class. But you see, these two, this one and this one, are inheriting properties from the same place. They are actually taking properties from the same person. But yet when we print them out, each one of them are printing out different things. Why? Because we are trying to abstract them. So that in as much as they are using the same properties right up there, no, but when it comes to the implementation, each one of them is trying to be implemented separately. No wonder we can have the head girl class in getting things from the head boy, but we can just override the punishment that is right there. We are overriding the punishment, the suspension that is right there. Also for the head boy, we can also override the punishment and we can override the suspension right there, so that when we print them, they are doing totally different things. They are doing totally different things. Yeah, so clearly, ladies and gentlemen, so that is basically what is abstraction in object orientation, especially when it comes to Kotlin programming. So today, in this class, we've managed to at least look at inheritance. We've at least managed to look at overriding, and we've managed to look at abstraction. Those are very key. Those are three very key concepts when it comes to object orientation in any programming language. So I'm very sure some of you guys might be having questions. You don't have to worry. Some of you guys may really desire that we repeat this thing. No problem. I have been recording this session, and so I'm going to share this code plus the recorded session, so you can be pausing and listen and go back again and come again, go back again and come again, and rewatch and get to know exactly what I've been talking about in this session. So without much ado, guys, that's it for today. And yeah, so unless anyone has got a question, we can just call it a day for today. And so by the time you guys are going to go through this video, or you are going to rewatch these and relearn what we have done in this class today, try to come up with examples of different types. Like, try to use different examples to do the same concept. That's how you are going to grasp my concept. Yeah. As you can see, at some point on this video, I had to pause. because there is something that was really escaping my mind that was quite so straightforward. I don't even really know why it was doing like that, but I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, so that's it for today, guys. In case there's any question, I can see the chat area has got something. Let me just check out very fast. So Irene, not unless I just look at the code, I might not really know how to help these. Hmm. So Irene, you can take a screenshot. Please do it on my WhatsApp. I can probably advise from there. Right now, I might not really know exactly what is eating up your code, but yeah. So that's it for today, guys. So I'll be sharing the code plus the video. So when you get to the code, when you download it, I'm going to put a folder called video inside there. So when you download, probably you're going to find an extra folder called video. So just get inside there. There's an MP4 file. Just double click to open and just start watching. Yeah, it has got very clear audio. So you don't, and the screen is as clear as it is right now. So you don't even have to worry about anything. So that's it for today, guys. And some of you people were asking me if Wanyama, when we come back, if we are going to do other. No, there is no other classes, guys. So once you have grasped this concept, if you guys are going to, if by the time we finish this course, Corona will have died down, probably you will only be coming to Immobilis to do exams. Otherwise, even the exams, we are going to supervise you online. We are going to devise methods on how to do that. But at least there is no more learning. If you can't get this, I really wonder how we can teach you. And I even, in my own opinion, this is the best way to teach you guys. Yeah. So let me just end this session for now and share the code. Thank you. So I'm going to leave the meeting and leave some of you probably for discussion or some other things that you really want to know. Yeah. Yeah, so probably I'm going to leave this session for some of you to do discussion. Some of you, you have your own, probably you have your own things to do, your own meetings. I don't know. But for me, let me just end it for now. And thank you guys. See you tomorrow, 2:30.